Hi, Anand. Are you here? Can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, madam.
Good
Yeah,
evening. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. So maybe in a couple of minutes we'll start.
sure, madam.
We're waiting for more participants to join in
Hello,
couple
sir.
of
Good
minutes.
evening.
Good
Yeah.
evening, Atul sir.
How
Yeah,
how are you doing? All good?
I'm doing good, ma'am. Not all good. I am. Today's my session is on technology, and I'm
Okay.
struggling with technologies these days.
Why? What happened?
Some issues are going in my mobile phone as well as laptop, and
Oh,
I am at a place. I've came to Kumbh for data collection, and
okay.
no, basically light is there in the daytime,
Oh,
so
okay.
I have to
So
come
you're
out of the area.
experiencing technology
Yeah.
detox right now.
The technology detox and the technology trouble.
Yes,
How are you,
yes.
ma'am? It's like
All good.
we always see
All
you.
good, Anand.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes.
Come over someday.
Yes, madam. I will like discuss in our
Uh,
next meeting. So,
sure, sure. Take
so
it.
I my thing is pending about
Uh,
that
you
book.
have to come. बिल्कुल
Yeah,
आ जाओ
yeah,
आज.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Any day.
So we'll be discussing. Yes, madam. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So, Sharif, can you send a reminder so that we can have everyone? Good evening, everyone. Just give us a couple of minutes. We'll start. So, Anand, if I have your permission, can we start?
For sure, madam.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of our FDP on navigating SDGs. And I'm extremely happy to introduce the next speaker, Dr. Anand Jaiswal. And he is an expert in the field of operations and supply chain management and an avid researcher. He's published um, a, a lot of papers, has contributed to research, publications, and conferences and seminars. He's done his PhD in the area of industrial management from IIT BHU, Varanasi, and he has over 7+ years of experience in the field of academics and as well as industry. He also leads his own business and research interests and social organization. He has published several research papers in international journals of repute. His area of interests are supply chain management, green supply chain, operations management, decision sciences, and data analytics. And currently, he is also working in the space of sustainability. So it is my pleasure to welcome our dear friend, Dr. Anand. May I request you to please commence the session?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity to deliver the session, and thank you for the introduction also. I hope my voice is clear to everybody.
Yes, and Dr.
Yes.
Anand would be sharing his expertise on technology. So that's his forte. So how do we use and leverage technology to support SDGs?
Yes. So before starting the session, just a quick like what's happened in the last one day. So I was ready with my PPT and the things I was putting a lot of like details to share and discuss with you all. Unfortunately, I'm in an area where the technology is not that readily available, and I have to request Dr. Sharif to like handle my PPT, and I'm very much thankful for him for like providing the access and managing the PPT on my behalf. So, can we go on the first slide, Dr. Sharif? Yes. So before starting the session, let's have some of your thoughts. What you are expecting from this particular session, 1.5 hours, because I will be going through some of the technological hands-on also during this session. But first of all, I would like to have your expectations from this particular session. Anyone among you? Using technology to support development, sustainable development goals. Anybody would like to come forward? Okay. So seems that people are still getting accommodated for this particular session. Okay, can we move forward, Dr. Sharif? Role of technology in SDG, that's the topic. Your expectation. Thanks, Dr. Anjali, for putting your words. Yes. Okay. So what we are going to discuss today, I mean to say, it's a very, very simple session. Technology, yes, definitely it is going to be much of help. SDG, yes, definitely we are going to look after sustainable development goals. This is the what the session is. This is what we are looking after. But what we are going to cover into this particular session? So very basic thing, some SDGs which we will be looking after that directly gets impacted because of the technology. We are going to discuss some of those SDGs. I hope everybody is aware about all the 17 SDGs, though it's very hard to remember all of them, but still, while working into this particular area, you get accustomed with the topics. Yeah. Role of academicians in the implementation of SDGs. Very, very good. We will see some of the technology tool which can help you academicians to include you in your teaching and learning, as well as to incorporate sustainability into your learnings for the students. Then we will be discussing some of the emerging technologies that support SDGs. I'm going to put more emphasis on the part which is technological applications for key SDGs and some hands-on. And then we are going to discuss some challenges in the use of technology. Okay, can we move to the first introduction slide, Dr. Sharif? Okay, so very basic thing. Introduction, very basic things. There are 17 SDGs we all are aware about. The role of technology is vital, very important. Easy technology to support quality education. Yes, we will be discussing this particular topic soon in the coming slides. But is it accelerating progress towards these goals or it is creating hindrance? So the thing is that we know technology provides us help and assistance, but it is also putting a lot of challenges. For example, there is AI. What previously 15 people were used to do, now AI is doing on behalf of them. What is happening? Those 15 people are getting jobless. So it is creating issues in relation to job and poverty. So, what is the role of technology basically? Is it going to support sustainable development goals or it will be a hindrance for sustainable development goals? We are going to discuss this in detail. But for sure, some of the recent technologies, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data analytics, are some of the very good applications are definitely helping in sustainable development goals. So this particular sessions will be on the application part, how we are going to use some of the technologies in our research, in our academia, and some of the existing technologies discussion, which are supporting to different types of SDGs. Dr. Sharif, please, if you can move to the next slide. Okay, again, very basic thing. I just wanted to keep it in that particular slide because I just wanted to let you know that whatever the discussion today will be, it will be on the impact on sustainable development goals. So some common example of SDGs directly influenced by technology are I meant to say all the 17 SDGs are being impacted by different types of technological use. But some of the most common ones are Goal 4, which ensures inclusive and equitable quality education. Okay, we are going to discuss this into very much detail. We will discuss something about education delivery. We will discuss something about research also. Then goal number 7, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy. So we will be discussing some of the technological integrations into this particular goal. Goal 7, make city inclusive, safe, resilient, smart city technology. So we will be discussing some of the concepts of smart city technologies. Goal 13, among the most common one which we are facing, the climate challenges. Okay, so some of the climate technologies we will be looking after in this particular session. But the thing is that we are already approaching 2030 and all these goals are meant for 2030. And if we can see, we are hardly having 4 years of the time in our hand. Let's say if we are into January, so 5 years of time in our hand. And we are still far away from achieving these goals. What will happen next? SDGs are not achieved. The government, the organizations have put so much of effort. What will be happening? So we will also discuss some of the concepts of Industry 5.0. Okay, right now we are going into the stage of Industry 4.0, and the next transition or phase is going to be Industry 5.0, the role of technology for sustainable growth. Okay, we are going to discuss that also. Dr. Sharif, if you can move to the next slide. Okay, so role of technology in supporting SDGs, some very basic roles, digital transformations. So technology help us to provide digital transformation for scalability and accessibility of sustainable initiatives. For example, the most common examples is telemedicine in remote areas. So we were doing basically a research on this particular topic, and we have identified that Many of the remote areas are so much of like getting benefits because of the use of the technology. The most common one was the Ayushman Bharat card. Every detail is available on their app and they can utilize it for taking health benefits. Back 25 years earlier, we can't not imagine such type of things, but it is supporting data analysis. I mean to say the best application or the best role technology can provide is in the terms of analysis. So number of recent tools, technologies are being used for data analysis. Why data analysis? Anything, any single thing which you are doing, you need to analyze the data. We are sending planes to Mars, the Chandrayaan 2. For what? For the analysis that what is happening over there. What is happening? All these details will come into data, and we need technology at our hand to analyze those data. Okay. Another very good example and solution is that automations and AI. Earlier, many of the things were like manually done. Now it is automation. But again, how all of these things are supporting towards SDGs, we are going to discuss in the next slide. Dr. Sharif, please. Okay, so let's start with one very good video first, and then we will be going to move forward. If you can play if you can scroll down, it will be playing the video, Dr. Sharif. Yeah, just go to the next slide. It will be playing the video. I think the audio is not audible. It's not audible. Dr. Sharif, the audio is not audible.
Sharif, you'll have to stop share and then check sound and then reshare. Stop share. Now reshare and click on the check sound, right side of the screen. Do you see it?
The before one, yes.
Keep an eye on this incident, a drastic result of climate change. And geospatial technology can help monitor the effects of climate change, improve natural resource management, and prevent threats to biodiversity. They have the unique ability to meet the needs of humanitarian actors. Images are updated regularly, making it possible to follow the evolution of natural disasters and their impact on affected populations in real time. There is a strong focus on data, analytics, and geospatial technologies now more than ever to achieve development outcomes. This data makes the invisible visible.
Turks and Caicos really starting to get slammed from this, and we're going to continue to see that move toward the west-northwest at about 16 miles per hour.
Whether it's education and welfare, or food security, or even life, monitoring any goal becomes easy with geo-information. Artificial intelligence provides real-time resource allocation through satellite mapping and data analysis. Agriculture productivity is increased from imaging with automated drones and from satellites. Precision agriculture tools can go a long way in increasing agricultural produce and mitigating hunger. 8 billion mobile devices with smartphone cameras are being used to diagnose heart, eye, and blood disorders. The Internet of Things and sensors feeding into the AI of everything are predicting sanitation and consumption patterns for improved safe water and sanitation. New hybrid manufacturing incorporating AI, IoT sensors and 4D printing are reshaping industries and yielding exponential innovation unprecedented in world history. Geospatial data, if analyzed and modeled properly, can be visualized as a dynamic informative map. Technology touches every aspect of our life and the world's need for sustainable development.
Thank you, Dr. Sharif. Yeah, so this is just a simple example. Okay, you can go on the next slide. Yeah. You can go to the next slide. You can just scroll down. Yeah.
Did you know that the map of the Earth changed forever last year?
The volume of
Go to
the
the next
iceberg
slide.
is
Yeah.
said to be
Next slide. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. So basically, it's just a glimpse of a very simple technology, or a very not. I will not say it's a very simple technology. Geospatial technology is among the most advanced technologies. But if you can see, a single technology is impacting most of the SDGs. Most of the SDGs are being impacted by a single technology. And if you will look after very simple technologies like your simple PCs, like your simple IoT devices at your home, it is impacting most of the SDGs. Okay, so let's take another example. This is again a little longer video I would like to share with you all. It is more
Consider
about
the classic
just
white
wait, Dr.
t-shirt.
Sharif. Yeah.
Annually,
you can go
we
the
sell
back
and
slide.
buy 2 billion t-shirts globally, making it one of the most common.
Yeah. So just you can scroll or go to the left or right arrows. It will provide. Yeah. So I was just discussing.
Consider the classic white t-shirt. Annually, we sell and buy 2 billion t-shirts globally, making it one of the most common garments in the world. But how and where is the average t-shirt made, and what's its environmental impact? Clothing items can vary a lot, but a typical t-shirt begins its life on a farm in America, China, or India, where cotton seeds are sown, irrigated, and grown for the fluffy bolls they produce. Self-driving machines carefully harvest these puffs. An industrial cotton gin mechanically separates the fluffy bolls from the seeds, and the cotton lint is pressed into 225 kilogram bales. The cotton plants require a huge quantity of water and pesticides. 2,700 liters of water are needed to produce the average t-shirt, enough to fill more than 30 bathtubs. Meanwhile, cotton uses more insecticides and pesticides than any other crop in the world. These pollutants can be carcinogenic, harm the health of field workers, and damage surrounding ecosystems. Some t-shirts are made of organic cotton, grown without pesticides and insecticides, but organic cotton makes up less than 1% of the 22.7 million metric tons of cotton produced worldwide. Once the cotton bales leave the farm, textile mills ship them to a spinning facility, usually in China or India, where high-tech machines blend, card, comb, pull, stretch, and finally twist the cotton into snowy ropes of yarn called slivers. Then yarns are sent to the mill, where huge circular knitting machines weave them into sheets of rough grayish fabric, treated with heat and chemicals until they turn soft and white. Here, the fabric is dipped into commercial bleaches and azo dyes, which make up the vivid coloring in about 70% of textiles. Unfortunately, some of these contain cancer-causing cadmium, lead, chromium, and mercury. Other harmful compounds and chemicals can cause widespread contamination when released as toxic wastewater in rivers and oceans. Technologies are now so advanced in some countries that the entire process of growing and producing fabric barely touches a human hand, but only up until this point. After the finished cloth travels to factories, often in Bangladesh, China, India, or Turkey, human labor is still required to stitch them up into t-shirts. Intricate work that machines just can't do. This process has its own problems. Bangladesh, for example, which has surpassed China as the world's biggest exporter of cotton t-shirts, employs 4.5 million people in the t-shirt industry, but they typically face poor conditions and low wages. After manufacture, all those t-shirts travel by ship, train, and truck to be sold in high-income countries, a process that gives cotton an enormous carbon footprint. Some countries produce their own clothing domestically, which cuts out this polluting stage. But generally, apparel production accounts for 10% of global carbon emissions. And it's escalating. Cheaper garments and the public's willingness to buy boosted global production from 1994 to 2014 by 400% to around 80 billion garments each year. Finally, in a consumer's home, the t-shirt goes through one of the most resource-intensive phases of its lifetime. In America, for instance, the average household does nearly 400 loads of laundry per year, each using about 40 gallons of water. Washing machines and dryers both use energy, with dryers requiring 5 to 6 times more than washers. This dramatic shift in clothing consumption over the last 20 years, driven by large corporations and the trend of fast fashion, has cost the environment, the health of farmers, and driven questionable human labor practices. It's also turned fashion into the second largest polluter in the world after oil. But there are things we can do. Consider shopping secondhand. Try to look for textiles made from recycled or organic fabrics. Wash clothes less and line dry to save resources. Instead of throwing them away at the end of their life, donate, recycle, or reuse them as cleaning rags. And finally, you might ask yourself, how many t-shirts and articles of clothing will you consume over your lifetime? And what will be their combined impact on the world?
Okay, thank you. So let's discuss on this particular video. What are the solutions they have suggested? The first solution, reuse clothes, share clothes. How many among us are willing to reuse clothes, share our clothes, and then re-wear it? If anyone over here can claim that, okay, we purchase reused clothes, I will be happy to know. I have never done this. Anybody over here who would like to purchase a cloth which has been worn by several other people? Anyone? How many of among us have ever used like the natural mediums for washing our clothes or dry washing our normal clothes? Very few. We normally go for the expensive clothes which are only meant for dry washing. We never do. Then how we are going to curb the second most polluter? Never. We don't do. So the problem is that the consumers are not ready to accommodate new practices. How is this SDGs are going to achieve? How we are going to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals for the climate actions? We can see the climate is responding. We can see the Los Angeles, the fire. We can see the amount of pollution in Delhi. How it is going to happen? So consumer is not ready to change. The second point comes to the manufacturer. Now, everybody, every single organization is putting efforts on the manufacturing side. Why? The consumer will say, I will not purchase in spite of repurchasing the old clothes. It will create issues in the supply chain. Ultimately, economy will crash. So the government, the organization cannot push the consumer. So they have got manufacturers. Now, what manufacturers will do? The top manufacturers or those who are having sufficient amount of money, they can invest something into it. So that's why there are concepts like corporate social responsibility, extended producers responsibility, and blah blah. But what about the new SMEs? What about those industry which are not having any resource to invest? And here comes the role of technology, and here comes the roles of academicians. Okay, so if anybody can tell that if you have to suggest some ways to some SMEs, what will be the initial steps, or what he should do so that he can contribute towards environment and climate? Any idea how he should start? If let's say you are having a startup, or you want to join a business and you want to work for better sustainability scores, what is the first thing you will do? I know market forces do not want this, but we need to do, na? We are not going to achieve SDGs. So let's assume that we want to do, the SMEs want to do. Then what is the first thing they should do in that case? That is a solution. But the problem is, how do I going to assess the use of biodegradable product is going to contribute to the environmental issues? Is there any research on behalf of this? Who is going to tell how much biodegradable use of plastic is going to contribute to the climate, the impact? How? Avoid synthetic fibers. But what is the basis behind this? We can say XYZ solutions. We can say the SMEs can do this, SMEs can do that. The first problem is it comes with a challenge of resources. SMEs are having very less resources. The second, what is the guarantee? We need to create a culture. Yeah, we use biodegradable products. Again, same thing. What is the guarantee that biodegradable products will give you a solution? Maybe it is not providing that much of results on the climate action. So we need to first of all assess the assessment of what or how much these particular products or manufacturing is impacting on the climate. And when they will know that this is the amount of impact because of the development of my product on the climate, let's change it. Let's start using biodegradable products. Let's start using synthetic or you can say biodegradable synthetics or fibers. And they will be reassessing the impact of climate of these changes, and then they can compare. They can compare with the help of their climate impact. They can compare on the cost involved in changing to these solutions. And to assess the impact, they need to reach out to the faculties like you, because you will be the people who will be teaching them the concepts of life cycle assessment. You will be teaching them the tools like OpenLCA, like SEMA Pro, like databases like Gabi, to tell them, okay, sir, this is your product. Your 1 unit of product is creating this much of impact on the deforestation, on the ocean ecology, on the water bodies. So if you can change to biodegradable product, you are going to be much of help. You are going to create impact on the climate. And on the second hand, you will be getting benefits. Benefits like carbon credits. Now, what are carbon credits? We will discuss ahead. But there are a lot of incentives the government is providing for such type of opportunities for the manufacturers. It is not a one-way implementation. Government is also giving different types of leverages And for that, you need to guide them. And that's why this particular FDP comes into account, and your role, the role of academicians comes into account. Okay, and that's why I have shown you this particular video. Dr. Sharif, please, can you just move to the next
Consider the
slide?
classic white.
Just move to the next slide. Yeah. So some of the emerging technologies, I will be moving fast towards the application part. Some of the emerging technologies like AI. We all know AI. We are facing the challenges of GPTs. We are giving assignments, and most or almost 99% of assignments are coming back to us with the help of Chat GPT. But again, this is a problem, but it is also coming with a solution. They are providing us also that what we have to do. They help a lot in predictive analytics, climate modeling, okay, optimize supply chain. So these emerging technologies like AI is definitely going to be the next major forces into Industry 5.0, and they are also going to support into SDGs. I'm just going to tell you an example after discussing all these technology. So blockchain. It enhances transparencies, accountability in the supply chain, and it is very, very relevant technology. Very, very relevant technology, which is directly going to support the SDGs. Internet of Things, big data analytics, clean energy technology, a lot of new emerging technologies have come. Okay, just take one example. Okay, then we will be discussing what other technologies you can think of. Just go to the next slide, Dr. Sharif. The next slide, please. Okay, so there is a very, very good interactive simulator developed by MIT on predictive analytics with the help of artificial intelligence. Just click the link, Dr. Sharif. It will take you to the website. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sharif. You have been of great help in this presentation. It will take you to a slide, to website. You have to open that website. I think you have to share that website, Dr. Sharif. Or you can share your complete screen also if you like. Yeah, very good. Just go to the explore the En-ROAD simulator. En-ROAD simulator. Yeah. So it will take you to a web page. Just close it out. So if you can see, they have developed a very, very good simulator based on system dynamics modeling with the help of artificial intelligence. What it does, it provides you predictive analytics. We always say that, okay, we need to reduce population. We need to start reducing deforestation, but how it is going to impact upon different measures like greenhouse gas emissions, and there are like hundreds of measures they have kept it over here. It will provide you the percent reduction of, let's say, population. Just search in the second column population, and Dr. Sharif, just scroll it to the, drag it to the left hand side. The population bar, just drag it to the left hand side at the bottom. At the bottom, Dr. Sharif. Yeah. Just at the bottom, population is there. There will be a bar. Just scroll the bar to the left hand side. At the bottom, नीचे की तरफ एकदम, growth, just look after the growth. At the bottom, not in the graph, below that. Yes. So just reduce it to the minimum. So it is providing you, if you can see the greenhouse gas net emission, if we will reduce the population growth, it is going to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. And how much amount it will get reduced if our population growth will be 0%. So there will be population, but there will be no growth. We are not growing exponentially. Then the amount of reduction in greenhouse gases, the fuel use, and a lot of different matrices they have provided will be there. Okay, so temperature increase will be significantly low up to 2100 year. So what we are this particular tool is providing, it is providing a prediction of what will happen in future if we are going to do this, if we are going to do that. Who has created this? Some of the academicians at the MIT. Who is going to use this? The policy makers are going to use this. For what? To plan their policies or way forward for the use of technology for getting the impact on the sustainability, or particularly in this case, environmental sustainability. So this is a concept of climate risk modeling or climate modeling, which basically the academicians are doing. So again, the technology is providing a lot of support to the sustainable development goal. So it is like a sword, if you will, or basically a knife. If you'll use it for the proper reasons, it is going to help you to cook. Otherwise, it can. Sarif sir, yeah. Just go back to the slide, yeah. Yes. So this is a very, very good example of AI for climate modeling. I think Sharif sir will be sharing you all these PPTs. So where links and everything will be there. You can move to the next slide, sir. Yeah. So common technology applications of key SDGs. Okay. Let's start with quality education. Okay. E-learning platforms such as MOOC, SWAM portal, and Coursera, we all know that the new education policy have also like asked specifically and categorically to use all these online portals in the normal curriculum. Why? It saves time, it saves efforts and resources, as well as it is very easy to learn and relearn from these courses, from these tools. Many of the very, very good in universities, including MIT, Harvard, all they are now started to provide the online courses available to all parts of the globe. So quality education reaches there. Virtual reality, augmented reality, number of other tools have emerged, and number of research papers are being used. Okay. Now, many of you must be using case studies in your like classroom discussions. The technologies have changed everything. For example, there are technologies like AI technologies like a small PDF or Coral AI. You can just go to the small PDF link, sir, Sharif sir. It will again take you to a website. Just put any PDF over there. If you are having any paper, Sharif sir, you can put it over there, or any basically non-confidential document, any PDF. You can just choose any PDF and you can interact with that PDF. You can use any course material also or anything. Okay. That's great. So finish it out at the top, finish button. Finish, yeah. So it will read and you can always interact. You can always interact with all these PDF. You can ask questions. So now you don't need to read the books. Okay, I think there is some issues into it. Export is. I think there must be some issues, but there are like the tools available. Since I'm not on my laptop, so it will be difficult to show you. But you can always take these links. What you can do, just put any basically book or PDF or any Word document available which you want to read. You don't need to read now. You don't need to read. Why? Just upload any PDF over here and you can interact. Okay, you can ask You can ask, for example, if you want to assess the benefits of the community services written in this particular PDF, you can just ask and it will provide you the results. Okay, again, very simple things. The problem is that it is also making the students not learn the case studies. Right now, if I will give any student, because my students knows, or most of them already knows all these things. So if I share any PDF to them or any case study to them, they don't read it out. They just put it into the Coral AI or a small PDF, and they write all my questions over there, which I have asked, and the software is providing the results. So again, it is creating a solution, because for us academicians, we don't have to read 300 pages report on the SDGs. We can put it over there, we can take the crux. We can put 10 PDFs like this, and we can use it for our research papers also. But on the same time, students are also misusing it. So what you have to do, we have to develop our knowledge delivery. We have to use different ways so that while not stopping them to learn all these technologies, making them to understand their mental exercise is also important. Okay, there are other research tools. You can go to a website called site.ai, Sharif sir, and I have given you
Yes.
the name and password. Yes, site.ai. I'm just giving you a very simple example of using of technology for research works. Yeah. And log in with the username and password I have given. Yes. So just you have logged in also, sir?
Yes, sir.
That's great. Go to assistant at the top. Just go to assistant. Just write a question. I am narrating it. Recent research on technology adoptions for sustainability. Recent research on technology adoption for sustainability. Okay. Okay, that will be also fine. Okay, just put the arrow. Yeah. What it will do, it will create the literature review for you in proper literature writing approach and relevant citations. Okay, you can put different questions in the terms of research, and it can provide you proper relevant literature. If you can read out the first or second line, let it complete first. Okay. So as you will write a literature review for your research paper on this particular topic, it will provide it in minutes. Okay, so let's go with the second paragraph. On the one of the primary barrier identified in the adoption of sustainable technology is the high cost associated with proper relevant references and the crux of the references. If you want, you can have it into tabular form also. Yeah, everything will be provided, Dr. Bharanidharan. Okay, so the thing is that the technology is coming up with relevant solutions. It's completely up to us how we are going to use these technologies for our work while contributing to sustainable development goals. These days, I was working with the NDIM, and one day we have decided that let's start writing a research paper. And in the FDP class, we have developed a complete research paper from scratch within 2 hours. And you will be amazed to know it got selected in a very prestigious conference, got published, a Scopus publication in just 2 hours of time. And we did it in the NDIM during the class curriculum. So the thing is that things are changing. The technology is providing you a lot of support, but it is bringing the challenges also. So what we have to do, we have to use it sincerely. I will come to the concept of creative stagnation. We have to use it sincerely, and we also have to use it in response to supporting sustainable development goals. We should not be looking after the research paper publication because we need to grow the profile. We also look after relevant solutions for publication as well as supporting research for coming up with solutions to sustainability problems. Thank you, Sarif sir. Can you please go back to the PPT? So some of the basic, I'm again giving you like glimpses of what technology can do. There are n number of other solutions like AICTE, like the GPTs with the help of R. We can integrate, we can use most of the coding platforms with the help of GPTs, and we can create solutions. Some of the very good students who are working at the NDIM, they have developed a game app and written a research paper. And it was such a beautiful, amazing work. So the thing is that technology is evolving. We have to evolve, and we will have to look after the concepts of SDGs. We have to start working seriously for Industry 5.0. Okay, can you move to the next slide, please, sir? And the best part is that we all faculty members are aware about all these things. We just have to keep on sharing our knowledge to each other for a holistic growth, for a sustainable growth. So common technology adoptions. Okay, there will be again a video. So for example, for goal 7, the smart grid optimized energy distribution. Okay, so we always go for renewable energy solutions. Some of the countries have already implemented the smart grid concepts. Just scroll down, it will play the next video. Yeah. So a very good case study on the Singapore technology.
Imagine a world where every flick of a switch, every charge of a device, connects to a network as intelligent as it is green. This isn't just a dream. We are now seeing all this come to life with smart grid technology. Welcome to the future, a nexus of innovation and sustainability. So, what is a smart grid and how does it work? Smart grids use digital technology and sensors to optimize real-time electricity flow, enhancing grid reliability and reducing costs. Smart grids work through 3 key components. First is the Advanced Metering Infrastructure, AMI, or special meters that keep track of how much electricity you're using and when, which helps you understand your energy habits better. And then, there's the Grid Automation and Control that uses advanced algorithms and systems to monitor grid performance. Lastly is the energy storage. Just like batteries, they store excess energy during periods of low demand and releases it during peak times. At the forefront of this transformative revolution is Singapore, a city-state deeply committed to pioneering sustainable energy practices. Through innovative government initiatives and forward-thinking policies, Singapore is creating a smarter, greener grid. Then, there's the Singapore's Energy Market Authority, EMA, which has taken a measured approach towards smart grid technology through its trials, including the Intelligent Energy System Pilot Project IES, Electric Vehicle EV Test Bed, and more recently, the Pulau Ubin Microgrid Test Bed. These efforts not only reduce carbon footprints but also pave the way for a resilient energy system. But technology alone isn't enough.
Okay, so here the end of this particular video was that technology development isn't enough. So what extra we need to do? We need to train people. We need to look after who are or how are people going to use all these things. We need to update ourselves, as well as we need to make the new generation updated. And that's where the role of faculties starts. We have to look after more seriously regarding the technological adoption, the technological changes, the role of sustainability, the mandatory implementation of sustainability. Government is putting efforts nowadays in the new education policy. They have inherited sustainability in every curriculum, every courses. Every single courses needs to integrate sustainability into their modules. Government is putting effort, but it is up to us whether we take it as an instruction from the government, or we welcome it with open hearts that no, we need to work for our next generation. We need to learn, we need to train. Okay. So again, the next common technological application is sustainable cities. So we are already working on like creating a lot of smart cities. There are challenges in India. We are a population driven economy with resource limitations, but still this government, the previous government, previous to previous governments have put efforts on developing smart cities. Okay. A lot of things are there available on the concepts of a smart city. So for example, smart people, a smart economy, a smart environment, a smart governance. Just take a very common example. Earlier, we used to carry caches every single place. But now, like a city like in Delhi, a city like in Mumbai, we hardly use cash. What we have become smart. Ultimately, what has happened? Low dependencies on the currency notes. What it brought basically? It brought ease and usability. But again, from what these paper currencies were made? Basically by cutting trees. These are papers. We need to have like wood for creating currencies most of the time. If you will say that, okay, why not to print like on the plastic notes? Plastic, it will be like going to have a very serious dumping problem. Okay, so if we are using online medium, we are being smart and we are contributing to sustainable development goals also. Okay, so the smart city initiatives also support to goal 11. Please move towards the next slide, sir.
Imagine a world where every flick
Just
of a
next
switch,
slide.
every
Yeah.
chart.
Next slide. Yeah. So climate action. Already I have told you the concepts about AI and predictive models like En-ROADS. Developed by anybody who remembers? Who have developed En-ROADS? Any chat messages? That I can think that, okay, you were listening to me. Who have developed En-ROADS? Okay, you must be writing. It is MIT. MIT people have developed the En-ROADS. So definitely all these things can be done. Blockchain technology facilitates carbon trading. Now, what is carbon credits? I'm sure you must be aware about it. It's such a beautiful concept that India is also implementing. Very, very simple concept. For example, I am an SME. I am doing some environmental work which will reduce the carbon generation. So what government is doing, they are purchasing these initiatives or they are giving credits on these initiatives. Okay, so it varies places to places, but each ton of carbon secured will give you one carbon credit. Now, this carbon credit is tradable. For example, you have implemented solar panels on your manufacturing area. So you are generating some extra energy. What government will do? It will calculate the amount of carbon production if non-renewable resources would have been used. For example, coal or petroleum products. So let's say you have generated 100 kilowatts of or 100 kilo, let's say 1 kilowatt of energy. So they will convert them. How much coal would have been used in developing 1 kilowatt of energy? The similar amount of like 1 ton, they will give you in the terms of 1 carbon credit. Okay. So 1 carbon credit, now you can use it for your own regulatory needs or purchasing or some other companies. Let's say there is a company which is working into textile. Okay, they cannot implement these measures and they are also producing little extra pollution, chemicals. So what they can do, they can purchase these carbon credits and sell it to government in the terms of not meeting regulatory requirements. So what is being done? Those who are working in this particular domain, they have been incentivized. But the problem is, how many SMEs in India ever heard of the concepts of carbon credits? So here comes the role of the facilitators, academicians like us, or the new talents which we are developing. If in the finance courses, if you can tell them, okay, these are the concepts of carbon credits, whenever you are joining one SMEs, please inform them. We will change the ecosystem. We'll change the way people think these days. Still, sustainability for most of the manufacturer is a sar dard or a pain. They consider that, okay, government is putting too much of efforts on us. We need to comply, not because we are working, we are looking to work for sustainability, but because it is a mandatory condition. Everywhere you will go, you will find the same concept. So it's the role of the academicians who can look after empowering them or giving them knowledge about all this innovative things. We can move to the next topic. Next slide. Yeah. But there are challenges in using sustainable technologies for SDGs. So one challenges is infrastructure gap. Okay. New developing regions like India, they are not having such type of technologies or infrastructure to accommodate such type of recent technology. Singapore can do a smart grid implementation. To implement it in Delhi, we need to look after the better schools. We need to look after better things. We are not having any like bullet trains. Why? We are having our own problems first to meet. Again, let's come to the concept of bullet train. It's a very good technology, but it is again going to impact sustainability. Okay, then there is a digital divide. Unequal access of technology leads to exclusion of vulnerable population. Among India, still significant population lives in the rural side. Okay, we sitting in a metro, we can use different technologies. But what about these people? It will take a lot of efforts to take the technology to the rural side. Again, what is the challenge? The cybersecurity risk. We are going digital in most of the things. Our classes right now is on the digital mode. All the banking transactions are on the digital mode. All the visa booking, travels, everything. Think of any particular area, you will find the use of digital technologies. It is also creating a lot of cybersecurity risk. What will happen if it crashes down? Once my mobile was picked up, I was not aware what is my train number. It was like I was at no place. I would take help from others to give me their Wi-Fi so that I can open my laptop to just know what was my seat number because I was not having any access. So there was risks like cybersecurity and physical risk. Okay. Resistance to change. There is still a lot of resistance to change. People do not want to change. That is also a challenge for innovative technologies. The last and the very most important issue is the technology sometime in itself is a challenge. Technology in itself is a challenge for SDGs. Can you give me some examples? Anybody, can you give me some examples? I want to have some examples from you. Can technology be artificial intelligence? Very good. Very good example, Dr. Shiva Kumar. Why? Earlier, 50 people were doing. Right now, AI is doing the work. Who has lost? Those people have lost because they are not having the work to do. Whenever we're talking about the sustainability, we always talk about economic, social, and governance. What is the social factor? The company will get profit. The triple bottom line: profit, planet, and performance. Some say people. So different concepts. What will happen to the people? You have got your profit. Yes, like AI technology. What else? What else? Can you give me more examples? Can you give me more examples? Data security, very good, Dr. Anjali. We have already discussed in the cybersecurity risk. It's data. It will get leaked out. Ultimately, it is just the databases. What others? What others? Technology. Earlier, it was taking like months and months to develop a building. Right now, many technologies are there which are creating machine learning. Yeah. Okay, I'm coming to that. They are creating the homes within a single day. I have seen many lot of videos available on the internet where the Chinese people, the European people are developing a complete home within a single day. What is happening? People are overutilizing. If you will go to Japan, you will find that many of their cities are like already built multi-story buildings and nobody is there to live. If you can see our nearby around, though we can travel with the shared medium, but we are using like a single person is driving a 7-seater car for like what reason? Going from one place to other place. So it's very common thing. It's always being said, we have to look after the use of technology. It is not like that we will sit in a AC room, we will use the least fuel efficient car, and then we will go to the session and we will start saying that the world should look after sustainability. No, we have to start using technology with discernment, with proper meaning, with proper use. And here comes the concepts of, I will go to the chat messages also, the concept of creative stagnation. Okay. Just can you just go back, go to the next slide and then immediately come back to this slide, sir? Yeah. If you can see this GIF, just see the amount of time it is taking to cut a tree. When these technologies were not there, at least it was taking time to cut a tree. Right now, the whole of the forest can be cut down within hours. So there is an example of these two images. One image is saying that technology can be disastrous. It can do hazards. It's very, very impactful, but it can create hazards. And the other technology, this is what it is doing. It is plucking the tree for the reuse. It is not cutting the tree to make the pathway. It is relocating the tree so that the pathway can be made, as well as tree can also be sustained. So come back to the Dr. Sharif on the previous slide. So the thing is that now people are looking after the concepts of creative stagnation. Earlier it was creative innovation, but now creative stagnation. Many organizations, many industries are looking after, or there is now a discussion, we need to stop. We need to stop the use of technology, not use of technology or the innovation part, to not develop more technological innovations which can create more problem for us. The most common example is the nuclear weapons. The people have stopped innovating the nuclear weapons because that is not the end. There could be more disastrous technology available which can kill millions, even like much more impactful to nuclear weapons even. But is it happening? We have COVID right now, and many of there were rumors that it was developed because of some chemical weapon testing. What is the cost we are paying? We have to look after creative stagnation, but not at the cost of development and growth, because as in the next slide, there could be better use of technology as the second GIF was there. But if we will not understand the challenges which these innovations will going to put on the sustainability part, on the human part, definitely it is going to be a very severe challenge. So on this particular note of creative stagnation, I would like to end my sessions, and 15 minutes is there for questions and answers and anything you would like to comment. So we can go to the next slides, Sharif sir. Yeah. So that's it from my side for this particular session, and this is open for question and answer. I hope it was like a worthful time you have I'm pretty much sure that you must know all these things which I have delivered. And regarding the links and all those things, you can always connect back. Dr. Sharif will be sharing you the PPT, all the links and everything will be there. And you can always connect with the organizers for any further queries. So any question you'd like to ask from me regarding the session, or would like to comment on anything regarding the role of technology, the use, the creative stagnation part? Thank you, Dr. Anjali. So, Dr. Sharif, I think not much of questions. If there will be any, you can forward it to me. I will take a little time to respond, but definitely I'm going to respond.
So any last minute suggestions to them, Anand?
Yes. So the thing is that government is putting efforts for incorporation of sustainable development goals. Please start using technological advancements for inclusion in your curriculum along with the sustainability inclusion. So the thing is that, for example, earlier days, it was it always took me hours to create this PPT. So Eli, can you just raise your hand or something? Was this PPT interesting? The GIFs, the images, the video, was it interesting? Anyone? Yes. Okay, I felt for my problem. Yes, it was interesting. And would you
Yes,
believe
sir.
how much time I took to create this PPT? How much
Knowing
time?
Anand, maybe 5 minutes.
No, man, I'm not that. I mean, so the technology still have to evolve to that level, but it was hardly less than an hour.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so the thing is that technology is there. So there are technologies or the apps, AIs like Gamma AI, and number of AIs are there. I use a lot of paid tools also. They can help you to give you a lot of help in creating these PPTs. What will happen? This will reduce your work time, and you can learn, and you can make your student learn. But first of all, we have to realize that we need to work for sustainability. It's ultimately the role of facilitators, the academicians. They need to first realize, no, this is our responsibility. then only they can deliver to their students. So this is my final note, madam.
So, Anand, there is one question
Yes,
in the
doctor.
chat,
Yeah.
one request. Yeah. Dr.
I will
Veerbhadra.
request, yes. So thanks for asking, Dr. Veerbhadra. Dr. Sharif, can you just forward me this question? I will be sharing you links. I think by the next week, I will be sharing you a good lot of resources into this particular area.
Sure.
Okay.
And also by Dr. Vinta Devi, there's a question, Anand,
Okay.
in the chat.
I'm just reading out the question for others also. I would like to ask your opinion on the use of AI-based tools like CITE, which assist in literature review and citation analysis for research purposes. Do you believe that incorporating such tools significantly enhance the quality of research outcomes and fosters deeper insights? Additionally, are there any limitations we should be aware of when relying on these technologies? Yes, madam. So this is from Dr. Devendra Sharma. Okay, very simple thing. If we will, let's take the example of mobile phones. 1960s. Let's say the mobile phone has been launched and people have started using the mobile phones. Would you ask people not to use mobile phone at that time? Just excuse me. No, we cannot ask people. The internet came, we accepted it, and we are using it. Similarly, the new technology has came, AI. We cannot discard it. The best part is utilize it. So now the thing is that ethical utilization. If you will ask this question to any reviewer or any editor, they will say that it's better to avoid technology. Write the literature review by your own. I am saying, and most of the editors, except few, are saying, why? This is the technology. If it can give better results, please use it. But please don't make AI the author of a paper. You don't need to completely rely on the AI. Use it, understand what the results they are doing. On behalf of that, please frame your own literature review. Why? Because if everybody will start using the same language model, they will give the same results. Where is the innovation part? Innovation part is you. You don't need to do the basic work. It will provide you your all the concepts, all the literature, relevant literature. You don't have to do the manual work to search the literature from different areas, different databases that it has provided. Now read what it has given. They have given a crux. Please read 4-5 papers, include your thoughts, and provide a comprehensive literature review. So this is the concept of Industry 5.0. The human computer interaction for sustainability. The human part should always be there, supporting or taking the support from the computer part for the sustainability part. So it is very much relevant. Please use it. Such type of softwares like CITE are highly relevant. Use it, but don't use it as it is. Please put your thoughts and your writing into work. Okay, that was my question. My answer, Dr. Vinta Devi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So one more question was there from Dr. Lot of questions. Okay, I will take 2-3 more. So Devendra Sharma, of course, fast-growing technology has started as technological revolution and also facilitating in many ways. But on the other side, isn't it creating a digital divide between rural and urban population? Definitely. That's why it is a challenge. Whenever there will be a technological change, there will be challenge. But just see the impact. Earlier, when the UPI payment was launched, there were criticism that how rural people are going to utilize it. Nowadays, I am paying 5 rupees for purchasing dhania, coriander from vegetable seller at the very, very rural area. I am at the Markham right now, and everybody is using digital payment. So they are willing and eager to adopt. We just have to facilitate them. As an academician, it's our role to facilitate them. So definitely there will be digital divide, but gradually that divide will be, the gap will be filled up also. So very good question, Dr. Devendra. Next question is, companies float competition Okay. Hmm. Companies float competition from Dr. Veerbhadra Rao for stunts on smart cities and green technologies. Fact of matter is ideas are extracted and they are then patented by companies. Very true. The word is not that ethical, which we think, but we will have to change. And that's why it's always suggested for students whenever they are writing such type of ideas, ask them to present in the conferences. For say in the NDIM, there was a very good conference and a number of students have presented there. It has documented that these ideas have been generated from the students. So it hardly takes, don't have to go for very like high paying paper like conferences. If you're not willing to put into conferences, ask them to write preprint document, upload it on the ResearchGate. Nobody can claim it. And preprints will always be considered like good for the researchers. So their ideas can always be there. It will not be considered as a plagiarism because the students who have written, they can always use it or put it in the preprints. So there are approaches or ways to counter all these things. We have to like put little efforts. Very, very good question. I hope I have got like 2-3 more minutes. So I'm talking to Dr. Shiva Kumar. Respected sir, good evening, sir. As you deliver the role of technology in SDG related to SDG 13, what is the status of our country in weather prediction technology and disaster management system compared to global standard? We are lagging behind, sir. We still have to put a lot of efforts. If it comes to the terms of European countries or US particularly, but still we are growing. Our like the better part of ours is that we have got a good young talent who can do immensely good things, but in technology development still we are very much behind. The number of patents we are filing, it's much low to the many of the top countries, though we are rising in the terms of economy, but we have to put a lot of efforts on research part. Okay, so it's a very subjective question that how country is performing, but definitely we will have to work more. How to protect student ideas, I have already given you like ways. Ask them to put write like basic papers, the white papers, and ask them to put on the preprint modules. A lot of preprint free of cost modules are there. If you want to present them into conferences in the form of posters, research papers, please encourage them. Just knowledge and critical thinking is required to use. Very true, Dr. Anjali. Very true. So I think I have addressed most of the questions. If there are more questions, please share it to the Dr. Sharif, and I will be responding each one of them.
Right. Thank you so much, Anand,
Thank
for
you, ma'am.
making time for our participants and sharing your expert knowledge. I'm sure they all will reach out to you for more
Yes.
questions, queries, and guidance. And
Yes,
may I
ma'am.
request everyone to please have their cameras on for a picture with Dr. Anand.
Yes, ma'am, done. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you, Tina, ma'am, for the
Thank
like organizing the session. Very relevant topic. And thank you again. Thank you to Sharif, sir, for managing the PPTs at the last time. And thank you, everybody.
you
Thank you
so
all the
much.
participants. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Anand, for
Thank
joining.
you,
sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, everyone, I'm sure all of you learned a lot from today's session and would be using this knowledge and apply it for your research, for your teaching, and training your students. So, now I'm extremely happy to see Professor Muhammad here. Good evening, Professor Muhammad. Welcome to NDIM, Dr. Noor. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you for
Tina.
being here. Thank you. So, everyone, I'm extremely happy to introduce the next speaker of the day, Dr. M.M. Noor. He is a professor of mechanical engineering at UMPSC Malaysia. Recently, he was appointed as a member of the Board of Governance for KPTM. His previous task was the Director of OCE of Sahra UMPSA in 2020. He was also the Director of UMPSA Press between 2019 and 2020. Also Dean of UMPSA Student Development in 17-18 and Director for UMPSA German Academic and Career Center 2016 to 2017. He was previously a Deputy Dean for the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. His research interest is in automotive engineering, heat transfer, green hydrogen energy, and nano UID. And he has published more than 400 papers in scholarly journals and conferences and holds a few invention patents. He is frequently awarded silver, gold, and a special award in invention competitions at PECI-PTA, ITEX, MTE, Citrix, IENA German, BIS UK, SIIF Korea, and more than 60 UMPSA CB Excellence Awards for outstanding researchers. And we are extremely honored at NDIM to have his esteemed presence for this faculty development program on navigating SDG. And he would be sharing his rich experience on the topic sustainable cities and communities. So it's a pleasure to host you, Dr. Noor. May I request you to please commence your session?
Thank you, Prof. Tina. Thank you, everybody, for listen here. Now in Malaysia, it's 10:00 p.m. Still, the night still
thank you
young.
for joining so late.
No, it's okay. They're still very young. 2.5 hours from India. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen first?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Prof. Tina, and also others for arranging this and having me today for sharing part of the SDG items. And we together see all the things after this. Okay. My title is on SDG 11, which is Sustainable Cities and Communities. I believe one of the important SDG goal is actually very, very related to people and very, very related to all of us, which is we live in the cities and communities. Then the keyword is here is a building sustainable urban future for all, because as some data of this, there will be many people still choose city rather than outside the circuit. Okay, this is my, I think Prof. Tina already read my profile just now. I skip this. Okay. Okay. Actually, just few space for where am I and where is my university. I am a lecturer of mechanical engineering, which is somewhere in 2 hours from Kuala Lumpur here. Okay, and this is our campus. We just established 2002, just about 22 years ago. Very new university, public university. We are a government university. Okay, this is our campus. From 2002 until now, our name changed twice and become UMPSA. Okay. I'm from mechanical engineering. We have 8 faculty and others, and we have 800 staff, lecturers, professors, all that. Okay, and for our customer knowledge, mainly also on futuristic things, like sustainable energy, and more than biotechnology. Okay, and also our centers, also smart centers, future center, intelligence center, something like that. I didn't read all. Okay. Firstly, as we know, we have 17 SDG. Then in this session, we are on SDG 11, which is sustainable cities. Okay, if we first see in our mind, cities, of course, one of the way on the cities is like this. This is very compact or very high density cities and community, but we plan to live like this. This is what we want. Live in the very harmony. We have a lot of space, a lot of green, with the compared to previous one. And this is our dream. Okay. Then if we want to go toward that, then we have to plan ahead and together we move for the sustainable cities and communities. Okay. The other keyword for SDG 11 for sustainable cities and communities is actually to set by overall our United Nations. Is actually to make cities safe, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. This four keyword will be here and there around when we talk about sustainable cities and also sustainable communities. Both are with this must be safe, must be inclusive, everybody, or not, don't have any exclusive. Resilient, then sustainable. These four keyword, which is go forward for the 11 SDG. Okay, this is a word cloud of SDG 11. We have a lot here. Maybe if you are still new to this SDG 11, you can count yourself how many words that you familiar on this one. Example: development, promote, green, public, smart, sustainable, settlement, commit, human, transport. All this is actually much related to social, cities, affordable, stakeholders, resource, everything. This is the word cloud of big and small related to SDG. Okay. According to current population data, which is about end of last year data, 60% of the world population is actually living in Asia. Okay? This percent is living in Asia, then and mean that more people living in our portion of the world. Okay, and large number of the Asia population is reside in urban area. Then urban development, urban sustainable is very critical, which is because of people. Okay, and if we take percentage, this is also recent data. China is 17.7, about 1.6 billion, and now India is actually slightly larger. Last maybe about half year ago, overtake the China, become 70.8 and 1.6 billion also, but slightly higher. Okay, and other than that, example is Africa is low region, low quantity region is about 2.4 growth, but still biggest population is actually in India and China. Okay, but the compare for the space is like China, they have huge land and low density, but for India, a country is actually, I can say, consider very high density, especially on certain area. That's why urban development and all those SDG is very critical to India itself, for the people and for the communities. Okay, the definition also for this word also, we can say also access to safe and affordable housing, and also upgrading Islam, including public transport, including green public space. We need to have certain areas or certain space for people to live and to have activities, and like jogging, like healthy, all that, and also improving urban planning and participatory and inclusive way lah. That is not only normal matter. Okay, SDG 11 also we have now 17, and also previously we call it Millennium Development Goal, MDG. Later I do some connection between these two for our knowledge. Okay. Okay, overview and scope for SDG, actually cities and human that forward, inclusive, safe, resilient. And the importance is actually for economic growth, innovation, and also human and community development. But of course, they come with challenge. Challenge, we have many things: resource depletion, inequality, poor people, climate change, urbanization, movement too much. And this is the overview of challenge important. Okay, and other than that, of course, infrastructure, housing, transportation, environment impact, all this. Because when people go there, they need food, they need energy, and all this will become challenge for the urbanization. Okay, okay, I go for slightly definition for this, for safety, inclusion, resilient, and sustainable. We talk about security or then safety. Is actually the condition of being free from harm, and also security is actually roughly is about quality of state of being free from danger. Okay, safety more to risk and harm. Our security is more on free from danger. Then we have to have or must feel safe, must be secure to live in the certain area of our circle of living. Okay, but we go to what is safety itself. Of course, more on safety condition, and also safety consideration on personal and all that. This is the real safety for individual. This is safety for family, for the community. Okay, that's a safe. Go to inclusion is actually to value the difference, and to make effective effort to allow everyone to their authentic self. This is the inclusive. If we take certain comparison here, asking for input people, this is inclusion, but involve everyone in everything, that's not inclusion. Something like that we compare is inclusion or is not inclusion. This is the inclusive. Resilient, and that's the three word. Last word, the third word is resilient. The process of adapting some experience, some tragedy, some trauma on stress or something. Okay, then we overcome. We mean that bounce back the experience to become resilient. Okay, if we put in other words, they have some relationship, social aspect, all this, engagement, achievement. On all this, we have positive and negative experience. Then we resilient to that one, that resilient. And lastly is sustainability. Still resilient, right? Advanced despite and adversity as well. The detail more. Okay, and last word is sustainability, which is it come from environment, economic, and social, and all these three together, then it becomes sustainability. But if only two, like is environment and economics, that's viable. Like environment and social, bearable. Economy and social accountability. But all these three, EES, three becomes sustainability. We put there is actually equity between environment, social, and economic aspect. Then conduct the development of this all this, and this is the considered as a sustainability. And in detail I put also here, but just to see the, as an example, conserve natural resources, reduce pollution. That is also sustainability lah. Okay. Sustainability also we can say like these three pillar, but this is a general one. Okay. Anyway, this pillar of environmental, to protect and maintain the environmental. Pillar of social, more toward good social well-being. And economic is actually we want to have the resilience of people that living in the urban area, and also become resilient, and also improve the living lah, to become more resource efficient. And the economic pillar, we have three pillars. Okay, the important on and relevant of this 11, which is actually very important because of society. Okay, then why? Because of more people living in the cities, and also to run away from poverty, all that. Okay, if we put overall in the world, actually half or more than half people living in the cities. compared to a bigger space, but in the urban and non-urban area. And next 30, 40 years or maybe 20 years become double that number. Okay. Anyway, in this number, we have about 800 plus million or maybe nearly 1 billion of people living in slum, and this number is still rising. Then most of these people are job depend on the stable and also healthy environment of overall urban. This is the example of certain numbers of like Uganda. They have a daily routine of their transportation, very very crowded. And also some others like slum, and also this is railway. Jakarta example, the slum area. Of course, some of us always people or internet or TV shows the good thing only, but sometimes we have to see also where is the slum area, where is the bad side of the country or bad side of the even US also they have their own slum area, but they never show it in public. That's the way of current government. Okay, this is comparison and also both side of MDG to SDG, Millennium and also Sustainable Millennium Development Goal, Sustainable Development Goal. Okay, we have last MDG is ensure environmental sustainability plus plus global partnership for development. These two in the 17 SDG, then sustainable cities and community lah. SDG 11. This is the more futuristic. This one is to 2030. But after that, maybe we can see use nation or something will be review, revise back the SDG lah. Okay. Then SDG 11, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. All the target is by 2030. Example, if we take number 1 to educate safe and affordable housing. Okay, strengthen effort to protect safe and lower culture of heritage. Okay, all this is actually the target of SDG 11. Okay, in summary, we can say like this: safe and affordable housing, affordable sustainable transport, and inclusive and sustainable urbanization, protect of the world and culture heritage, reduce the adverse effect and also natural disasters, reduce environmental of city impact, provide access to and safe for green and public space, strong national and regional development planning, implementation policies for inclusion and resources efficiency, and lastly, policy here is support on the cities and countries, including financial techniques and technical assistance. Okay, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Total 10 of the target of SDG 11. We just remember on housing, living, and also some sustainable and on transport, on people. That's the keyword. Okay. Anyway, SDG 11 they also have very strong relation to others. Okay, if we take this indicator 11, all this 11 we relate to example here, relate to 11 on the red color, 11 3, 11 5, and 11 B. All this also relate to the no poverty example. Then also 11 12 2 is actually relate to 3 and 13, climate change and also good health and well-being. All this actually all related, but the main one is actually 1, 3, 6, 10, 13, 15, and 16. Other than that is not so strong relation. They have also relation, but not so strong. This is the indication of relation of the SDG. Okay. If I take the just now example 1, 3, and 6 example, okay. SDG number 1, no poverty. Actually, this is very much related to city can offer economic opportunity, affordable housing, social service, and also will contribute to the poverty eradication. We mean that SDG 1 also relate to the sustainable cities, because if nobody live below poverty line, then the housing, affordable housing, the social service, all that will be much better for the people. That's a relation of 11 to 1. Example 11 to 3, good health and well-being is example access to clean water, sanitation, healthcare, green space in city for the public and well-being of communities. Okay, example is at 11 to 3. You take, if other than that, example 2, 4, 5 also have, but smaller impact lah. But anyway, number 6, clean water and sanitation. Of course, city need this, because high density people area, then water and also sanitation is actually become very critical of maintenance and all that for the urban area. 136, and also example we take 10, so reduce inequality inclusive of urban, and also avoid or to reduce the inequalities, which is actually very hard to implement, especially on the resources, service, opportunity, for all residents. But still, most of the cities, most of the people will look up to the rich and look down to the poor, something like that. This is a very straightforward. Okay, that's a SDG level example. Okay, 13, 15, and 16, and this one is actually climate action. When we say climate, of course, normally we go to greenhouse gases, and also we go to energy, because to the energy needs, and all that become climate change. Okay, pollution to the urban. Okay, life on land, also we can say terrestrial ecosystem, to protect biodiversity. That's SDG 15. SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. Of course, if we say safe, secure, of course, peace and justice, and also sustainable cities will be social well-being is very critical for this SDG 16. And I go through little 11.1, safe and affordable housing. Okay. Example, key target is actually to ensure access for all and adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic service, and also upgrade the slum. This is very important. And also that one also including transport system, provide access safety. Okay, if you put transport just now, then okay, if I take some work in this work toward SDG for people and sustainable transport system, expanding a lot. This one. Anyway, I will show some sample later. Okay. This is normal. We can see in certain place and in certain area because of population, but we dream of this like this. And this is also, I believe, already run in India itself, for the new railway system, using electric towards high speed train example, and also very more safer lah. We use electric train here, electric train. The people cannot stand here anymore because on the top will be some power line, something like that, and no more like this example. Okay, inclusive, sustainable, and urban point. Okay, if we see this 11 for make cities and human settlement resilient, all that. Okay, some fact for India itself. By 2030, expected to have 7 mega cities. Okay, mega cities is actually one city, very high density with more than 10 million people. Okay, that's the number. Okay, and we can say 1 out of 3, 31%, or 1 out of 3 living in urban area. Okay, and also 70% is actually still living in a slum, and then very high density people. And you can say some other number, urban housing has sanitary toilet, only 11%. nearly 1/10. That one, very, very low number. And 43 million ton of annum waste are generated in the cities. And this is how the city council or need to manage also. And this is also some fact lah. 2.5 million population related death in pollution related death in 2015, and 2.5 million because of the pollution. Okay, that's just some effect. Okay, anyway, monitoring and evaluation of SDG is urban population living in slum, access to public transport, air quality, and also municipal waste management. And global monitoring, role of overall this example, role of United Nation, local government, all this we have to monitor and evaluate. Okay, every year UN will come out with the SDG report for all of us, people read and see and realize all this. Okay, the example. And if we go forward toward that, some fact, example, by 2050, 68 population, this is some other updates. Example, 68 population, this is SDG UN report. Nearly 70% we live in cities because of urban development, all that example. Okay, and if it's push focus here, cities cover 30% of Earth but consume of 70% roughly. Even the area only 3% but cover 70% of the people, and also they consume a lot of others like energy, and also generate carbon emission. And that's why every country we monitor all those numbers and all that. Okay, then some other number related to that, example SDG 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is actually very related to the numbers of improving the planet. The planet mean the land, the earth. All these are related, including the 11. Okay, in other numbers, some other data for current cities, just not 3% or 70. So this is repeated, but just new data. Okay, and some other report. Okay, minimize environment impact through green space, sustainable energy, and also efficient resources. And for some other things, this is the four previous example: inclusive and urban, safety, sustainability, and all that, and reducing the crime, improving resilient building cities that can adapt the disasters, problem, economic shock, all that. And this is the how the key objective for the urban. Of course, in overall urban development goal, inclusive planning, diversity, air quality, affordable house, and also living space, and for equalities and sustainable transport. All this will be urban development target and goal. Okay, some countries they also have like this. They put some green on the building to increase the green area, and to change the example carbon dioxide to oxygen in the town. Then they put the green here and there. Okay, this is the some target and also value and impact on clean energy and production, and unique and also closely. We can see, if example, if you put some green biogas mean green or renewables something. It's not the like fuel, a normal fuel, fossil fuel. That's not the green, but biogas plant to have under development for the organic waste and produce the energy, green energy, something like that. Okay, some other target for the urbanization. I skip this because I think some of this already said before. Some challenge in sustainable cities and communities. Some challenge, actually, they have a lot of challenge. Anyway, I just put in some of it. There are three main SDG 11 challenge, inclusive cities and communities, and housing, public space, and transport system. These three is actually very critical and very basic need for the human or communities, especially in the high densities town cities. Okay, and if we refer to, this is a report I said before, we refer to Sustainable Development Goal Report 2024 by United Nations, by United Nations, this SDG report. The word that this last year report, I mean last December report, very recent, a moment of choice and consequences. This report shows all the SDG 1 to 11, as 1 to 17, which is inclusive also the sustainable cities. Okay, this keyword is actually quite standing out, like a moment of choice. We as people, we as community, we as also human being and all everything is actually, and also we as a government, we choose a government, we choose the cities authority, okay, and we also as human, we have to manage what we choose, and we have to have the consequences from what we choose, what we select, our life, our cities, our uh, government, our or everything lah. Then the moment of choice. This is from the report, and I take some this report into Good 11. This is Good 11, SDG 11, current status. The keyword also very dangerous here, severely off track, for the SDG 11 report. This is SDG 11 report, and overall of SDG itself, okay, the severely off track, okay, if I you put here, even total 17 SDG, okay, on track, on target or target met only 17%. And if we put here marginal process, stagnant, regression, this is a bad side, and these two three color, you can say it's about more than half is this side lah. Moderate progress and on track or good met is actually only about 35% or one third, and two third is actually marginal progress. Looks like almost do nothing, stagnant, and also regression. That's total. This is overall progress for the total nation for the whole world. So that's 15 and 24, 10 years report. Then we have another six years, 2020, 2030 to achieve all this. Okay, if we see one by one, this is the number. Goal 11, you can see here, this is goal 11. I make it bigger here. This is goal 11. The green color is roughly about same, about 30%, or maybe, sorry, not 30%, it's about roughly about maybe 20% roughly. And other than that is and this color, okay, almost marginal process, and other than that is stagnant. Okay, luckily this gold 11, they didn't report on red color regression, or maybe do reverse, not even stagnant, become bad, or not better, become worse and worse, something like that. That's a good 11. You can see some of the gold 2 is still so many red. Red mean become reverse, become bad and bad. Okay, this is current status of the SDG, which is comment here is severely off track, and that this is become eye opener for us, you and me and others, to recall back all this, to become more better and better for the people to live. Okay, this is the sustainable report summary. I just take the sustainable level. Okay, if you put here 40% of city dwellers easy between 2020, and also some other numbers, 70% of global population is actually in the cities by 2050. But still, many of the people are even not even can drink the good water or clean water, resources, for example. Okay, global urban population if we take all this in the world, just see on this one, 2020 and 2022 comparison. Okay, and if you take our central and southern Asia, I think our state is about here. Okay, 48.2% percent is 2020, and reduced to 42.2 for Central and Southern Asia. This is deepen the global of slum crisis for the housing, transport, and services. This is the main of the SDG 11. Okay. Anyway, for us, for Central and Asia is reducing. Anyway, for the world is worse, become 24.2 to 34.8. This is increasing. Okay, global urban population increasing to become more dense on the cities or urban. Okay, some other challenge on the urban area, strain and on infrastructure, rapid uh, uh, urbanization lead to the overburden of the infrastructure, resulting the public service become more severe, like transport, sanitation, waste management. Okay, we become lower and lower quality of life lah, because of the strain in the infrastructure. For housing crisis, lack of affordable housing to become bigger and bigger and wider gap for the low income families, and their standard of living become lower and lower because of the housing crisis. Of course, developer having a critical moment on cost and also profit, and they are running based on profit. But if they are always making the low income house, then how they will uh, make a profit. That's also. Then some of them are actually, or majority of this area is actually responsible of government, local government, also central government. Okay, environment impact also a challenge for the urban expansion to contribute to the significant environment degradation. Pollution, green space become lesser and lesser. Okay, as some fact and figures, and currently every 10 minutes, every maybe about a few minutes, our green area in the world become less and less and less because of development, because of uh, agriculture, because of many things lah, from green to become developed area, then environmental impact become worse and worse lah. And this is the three challenge: infrastructure, housing, and also environmental impact. Okay, convenient access to public transport. If we put in urban area, convenient access means that something, if you want to go somewhere, then you don't have any cars and any motorcycle, then you have access to transport. Okay, if we take from Central Asian, 52.8% of our population is actually having with access to transport in urban area, and for 47% are not. About half of people is actually having access to convenient to public transport, but still very low. We expect, before I saw this data, I expect at least 70%, 80% that convenient access to public transport. But now only 53%, very low for the population that having the access. A certain area like Oceania is lower, then Africa is lower, and North and Western Asia is lower. But you go to the developed country like Australia, New Zealand, European, North America, is their number is 80% or 80 plus. Only about 20%, less than 20%, is actually don't have access to convenient public transport. That's what I compare here. Okay, where are we right now? This is the current status of SDG 11. If we put some number, and for the housing example, the numbers 2000 this 15 years, urban population living in slum decreased from 39 to 30. This is due to many activities from many countries, reduced about 9% in this 15 years. Okay, and as for 2014, some this is just to see the progress number. Of course, the report is slightly old, but just to see the progress number. 28 city having 10 million or more habitant, I mean, mega cities, 28. Okay, just now example, India target maybe 2030 having about 10, 12, or maybe 15 cities of mega cities, 10 million. Okay, as for the number, Malaysia country like Kuala Lumpur, we have only about 5 million living in the Kuala Lumpur city, but still very far from mega cities. Okay, that's a number only. Okay. And for the transport, emission from the transport account about 22% from the global greenhouse emission. Still, okay, and 1.2 million death of the road traffic accident because of the transport. Okay, and some people say electric vehicle will reduce the um, emission or pollution. Of course, in city, because of we transfer the emission from city to outskirt, to run the factory or to run the dam, and then emission is actually changing the location from the city to the other area outside the city. Of course, it's actually good also to remove the emission pollution from the transport from the cars and lorry or that buses from the city. But in we call it emission net or net energy or net zero emission, still many areas still quite far from the net zero, because we just reduce the emission from the center of the urban to outside circle, something like that. But of course, if we go for more renewable energy, more green energy, and that one will be less emission, and so less better net zero energy, net emission. That's the current for transportation. And example, inefficiency, the biggest problem for these two is actually land usage and also water usage. Okay, if we example, we use the more land and some natural habitat or natural something like this image. If we come and cut the tree, of course we could take this something to our use, but for them, they having trouble of we disturb their areas like that. That's land usage, and also some other things like water usage. Of course, some country water is very easy, and natural resources are very like abundant, but some country water is not, it's not easy because of less river or maybe far from sea for desalination of water, something like that. Okay, this is some fact for the water. Only 0.025% of water is actually accessible and fresh. Very small number. You can say it's about 2.5 over maybe 10,000. This is very small number of fresh water. Okay, and as we all know that wastewater create pollution to the urban, like dead zone, and also some other health problem, and also wipe out the flora and fauna that covering because of um, bad water, because of sanitation, and because of accessible to fresh water. Okay, example is this is a simple number. One hamburger that we eat, for us very simple. You just eat one hamburger or maybe two hamburger for lunch. Actually, they use in the whole process chain to produce that hamburger out of one. Actually, we use 680 gallon of water. Very high number of water used in all the supply chain to become this. I mean that from the meat or fish or egg, and for the ham or something, then from some other source, and total is about 680 gallon of water we use to produce one hamburger example. Or 1 gallon of cow milk is actually equal to 1,000 gallon of water. To have 1 gallon of cow milk that we drink, or we buy to house, and 1,000 gallon of water have been used in the supply chain of 1 gallon of cow milk. Okay, that's the fact and figures that water use, and water is very very critical resources to the urban city. Okay, this is some number also. For the other than that is actually seven numbers and ratio. I think this is also some other number. Okay, just I go down. Okay, for the so far, for the milestone or some updates on this, on SDG 11. Okay, we have three area here. I split into become bigger. Yeah, for example, the rapid and often unplanned urbanization and increased pressure on the environment. Of course, this is a very heavy also because of the unplanned development, some slum area, everything, and also some um, natural people that throw rubbish out that to the river, example. That's a part of challenge. Of course, the solution is actually um, to promote the positive or sound urban planning for the sustainable and low cost everything, transport, green space, sustainable lifestyle, and green area people. But of course, to reach to this level, maybe we need two or three generation, and we need to always educate for what we do now will be effect to our few generation after us. And that's the um, very important information that we have to pass to our children and our children and children. Not we are using now and also then later we effect. That's the challenge for the urbanization, unplanned urbanization. Okay. The second one, our cities is actually 80% of energy consumption. Our cities account up to 80%, and also 75% of our global carbon emission. Okay, this is the energy and also carbon emission or waste or emission. Okay, of course, solution is actually invert to renewable energy and also waste management for the green infrastructure, green sustainable, all that. Simple example, we can use the solar energy of, but of course they need some investment, something like that. And also some of the transport, if some country already implement, reduce the internal combustion engine related vehicle example, and use some other green transportation. That's the one of the solution for the renewable energy, and also for the sustainable. Okay. Number three, high density people actually effect to the climate and also natural disaster. Of course, if we currently, I think many of the cities, if we have 2 hours heavy rain, then sudden flood, all that, it's actually a climate change and also natural disasters. Not only earthquake, but some country they don't have earthquake, but they also having some other challenge for the flood and for the water, for that is actually also some problem. And to have a better solution, as example, social, culture, economic center, we have to have certain environment. Uh, People have to know environment is actually for all of us, not for only some certain people. Okay, that's the challenge number three. This is example of milestone or challenge and solution that we do progressive. Okay, this is one of the example or one or two of the example of carbon neutral capital. carbon neutral, some sort like net zero emission or net zero energy, something like that. This is the Copenhagen, Denmark, world first carbon neutral capital by 2025. They declare that all their energy are efficient, for heating, cooling, use efficient energy, equipment, efficient energy, all that. Okay, so for super cycle highway for bike, they reduce the urban internal combustion engine example, then they use more uh, environment friendly transport, all that. Okay, and second example here is actually Rizal, China, a city of sunshine. They use solar powered city, and household also use solar water heater, city light powered by PV solar. Okay, of course, solar energy is actually one of the solution, but currently this solar still need more research and more development to ensure that higher energy is collected per meter square or per lot higher density equipment. Example, research on nano enhanced material, phase change material, how to generate more higher energy for the solar panel. Okay, actually this the way that sun and solar panel work is actually quite simple. For example, they we use two solar that having certain electron or something like that, and uh, phosphorus, boron, all that, and sulfur. Then this, when heat coming, the electron is actually moving and also become reaction. Then that electron is go to certain collection something. Then that's a generate energy. How to improve this actually is still many people doing, but so far no novel big uh, photovoltaic solar or something lah. Yeah, that's the anyway this China city, they declared that there are 99% household solar water heater, solar PV, sunshine of solar, and become net zero capital, net zero town, something like that. Okay, example. Okay, some other strategies and what we have to do to achieve the SDG 11. Okay, strategy of urban development, and this is the local government role. Local government are actually very important, also very critical, essential for the environmental and also enhance urban livability lah. Okay, because they are local government actually is very strategic to do this activity, and also some other things is as some example community centric initiative, which is we part of the community, we have to do many things on the SDG itself. Okay, okay, later I show you small example for that one. Okay, also promoting affordable housing solution, community strategies. Example involve resident for the better and greener specific need for the community, service and engagement. Sustainable development practice, example we integrate green building techniques, housing project to enhance energy higher efficiency, reduce long-term costs for the resident. Nowadays, many cities already implement example green building, which is less energy use in the building. They use examples sunshine, they use some wind, they use certain strategies on solar panel or that to have lower energy building, or they call it a green building. Okay, and collaboration with stakeholder means some party or some people that related very much on the housing. Example, building partner among government, private sector, non-profit, to more shortage of housing. I believe many parts of the world housing shortage is normal. Actually, because of affordable, it's not shortage itself. If we say the house is very expensive because of poverty level and threshold, that's all. It's not much affordable because of company. Of course, they will do some profit to get the house. Enhance the public transport system. Public transport actually is very very also critical also for the urban because of density and also integration various of transport mode. Okay, some cities of course they have very very good integration of all this, and also even they have good path of or good special lane for cycling, and even for jogging, all that. Some people walking or cycling to the office, then this is actually become very good mobility lah. Okay, this is the public transport, one of the very important SDG 11 target lah. Okay, and reduce environmental impact through urban planning. Um, we have a few here example optimize the urban density. Okay, of course we have to well design the infrastructure, significant decrease of fossil fuel, internal combustion engine are related to this burning and release the carbon dioxide and emission. Okay, and also greenhouse gases lah. That's density. If lower density and become better and better, but high density they have to plan for more environment friendly transportation, environment friendly energy. Okay, green mobility. Of course, we have to reduce this one and also improve the mobility with green one. Example, of course, EV is green, as I said before. We move the bad or the pollution outskirts to the town and become the town become more green. Okay, and also example sharing, e-hailing, sharing the transport, or cycling or even walking or something. That's the promoting the green mobility. And enhance urban green space. Some cities or some urban space they already put some laws and some regulation. Certain development you have to have certain green areas, certain trees, to ensure that you have net zero in your own area. You have to have a balanced environmental impact in your own area. Otherwise, some of the big company or big cities or big country, rich country, nowadays they are buying the green space or green city or green or jungle. They buy not the buy jungle, but they buy the green in the jungle, to show to the people that okay, our city is not green, but we pay the green from some other area, and we interchange the green space or green this one and become nearly net zero. That's also one of the business now. People is actually selling the trees, not the land, but for the green and trees only. Okay, enhance the space. Okay, and community engagement and participant. Okay, empower through involvement and also building trust. These two is actually a community lah. Okay, decision making, increase the civic responsible. Actually, I think one of the important for the government is central government or local government is actually giving the information, giving the knowledge also to the people that SDG is important. Some university is we are from, I believe we are lecturers, academician, researchers, student. We go to certain university, then some university they put 70 SDG on the wall. At least we have waiting something or discussion something, we can see that things um, to become green but some most of the universities still not even put the posters of SDG, and not yet say that embedded to the curriculum, or that they still become very far lah. Okay, but anyway, that's that thing is actually even community, whatever community like town community, people, and also educated community like university or something. Yeah. And also building trust of transparency for the local government, also resident. There's a participant and collaboration to the long-term uh, engagement of community and also participant to this SDG town. Okay, I found this image on I think LinkedIn. I like this some sort like green and also involvement of the uh, central government to the SDG level itself. And also, example, Prime Minister of Modi, I think, he put there, cities in the past were built on the riverbank. I think we know all this because of the transportation. Last time, less road, but the way of transport is actually river, water. Okay, cities of the past were built on riverbank, but now they are built along highways. That's the now after this we have transportation or that on the road and then we highway. But in the future, they will be built based on availability of the optic fiber network and also next generation infrastructure. Mean that from all this, the main people living riverbank or riverside is actually because of transportation. They use waterway, and currently we are built along the highway, and because of also same transportation on that. But in the future, yeah, in the future, because of the waterway and also highway is there already, then people we have built more towards the next generation needs, and maybe and also maybe some other like internet, fiber net, optical fiber, or maybe satellite or whatever to become uh, house or urban area. That's I believe what he says is very true. Even future also, people will live in the area of where something is profitable to them or easy to them. Okay, and one of the statement here, India is one of the fastest growing economy in Asia, which has started as aspiring strategic change to transform 100 urban into a smart city. Okay, I hope this, even this is 2018, 7 years ago, but I hope of my personal feeling, smart city is actually good for future and good for next generation of people that we do now to have nearly net zero energy, nearly lowest emission or that for the people, and also if possible, slum also become very very small area. Okay, or no slum is the best lah. Okay, in case of Malaysia, this is only one image for Malaysia. In case of Malaysia, this is the image of Petronas Twin Tower, and it's become I think twin tower, not more than this. It is highest twin tower forever maybe because of Malaysia built two. Then still example, this is city center of very expensive area that still have a big green space. uh, we keep big green space for the in the center of town to keep for the uh, uh, something like balance also, like not only the building high rise or that, but still we keep some green. Okay, and SDG 11 holds special significance in other than that. Example, Mumbai housing, one of the largest urban slum, at Davi, Delhi, topping on the air quality. Chennai is unseasonable flooding in recent years. This is the special significance on what happened. Okay, example, if we put some other target, connectivity, smart mobility, smart waste, smart public transport, smart water, all this is smart, all smart, traffic management, smart building, cyber security, urban planning, parking, and also this is smart city. I believe many of our cities actually planning on this. The challenge is actually on towards supply and demand. Example, if internet, of course, and also public service, but some other thing maybe if low demand, the government cannot afford to give more, but lower demand or lower quality demand. Example, this is the smart cities point lah. Okay. Measuring for the current and also progress direction for the SDG. Okay, humanity. I believe I already explained this challenge and for now and future. Okay, indicator of assessing accessible cities, urban service and also transport. These three is actually important accessibility measurement or indicators for the number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And some other example for the sustainable big cities is in India. Example, Maharashtra, Mumbai. This is they call it Indian financial capital. For the simple project, and they have many things: metro expansion, redevelopment of slum area, urban infrastructure, public transport, housing, for low income. This is towards few good cities lah on the sustainable in India, big city. Delhi itself is actually, I think, they are now reducing the air pollution, increasing the green area, green covers, improving the mobility, more metro expansion, more electric bus. This is good also. Okay, to promote sustainable urban living policies and also some other things like waste management and even renewable energy. That's a national capital of territory. Okay, for the Bangalore, Katanaka, Bangalore, this is Silicon Valley investing a very high density or high smart city initiative, and also many renewable projects, maybe including the solar or that. Okay, and sustainable water management, focusing on public transport and also metro expansion. Okay, Telangana, Hyderabad, IT hub and growing metropolis, which is toward for sustainable urban planning and green building, and also lake and parks preservation. And city emphasis more toward urban growth and also affordable housing scheme. It's actually very good. Housing, affordable housing is actually one of the most high challenge to achieve. Chennai, I think the South India, hub of culture and also economic hub. Flood resilient, because some area always flood, and flood resilient process, coastal management, and also transport initiative like metro expansion, and also climate change resilient through the project to improve the infrastructure and also become more greener and greener. Okay, this is example. I just take for example big cities. 5. I'm not sure in between. Maybe they have some more, but this is only example of 5. Okay, and if that one is big cities, we go to smaller cities. Example, Diu, a coastal city, clean street and effective waste management. Okay, Mysore is actually a southern Indian implement initiative of carbon footprint reduction and also green waste management and water conservation and also renewable energy. Agartala, the capital of Tripura, switch all public and private vehicle from internal combustion engine to the natural gas, which is more friendly compared to the fossil fuel. Okay, I think 10 years ago, more than 10 years. Habli Dawat, twin cities in Katanaka, which are building the mobility for corridor along the Ankara drainage channel. All this, and they also become greener and greener, sustainable cities. Okay, and some other word. Mysore is actually a city of a promising future. Okay, very nice building and also green. Okay, this is part of the example. Okay, and some other example is Madhya Pradesh, Indore. Okay, they also have in they also recognized as Clean Indian City, which is a few years they win. Okay, Surat, Gujarat, I think demonstrate the good on urban accessibility because of they also win a few times of this award for the green and also sustainable cities. And Chandigarh, which is even achieving high score on the SDG country. eh. Okay, and Kochi Kerala is actually a top performance for the environmental services, and they have 95.5 for SDG, very high. This is also part of the novelty and also sustainability. Okay, Surat and Indore, I believe the development is very good, and also if actually Surat is actually as far as I know in the search of some sustainable cities, India City has pioneered the smart city initiative. Actually, Surat itself. Okay, Surat is actually from Gujarat. Okay, outside India, this is some example of natural carbon and also green city. Copenhagen, Denmark achieve natural carbon and energy, and also 6% resident commute by bike daily, and bicycle or something. It's very very hard to achieve. For certain cities, not even 0.5%. This is 60% of the people using bicycle or bike daily. Okay, Curitiba, Brazil, pioneered example efficient bus rapid transport and urban planning and reduce the carbon emission. Okay, Freiburg, Germany, green city for the solar initiative and also public transport friendly. Okay, also community participate in the urban planning for the Germany. Singapore itself, I believe, because of their implementing of green building initiative and also high standard of the people living, become garden. This is example of the building when with the green on the building itself. Example. Okay. Some other example is zero waste by 2020, San Francisco and Sao Paulo, Brazil. Is a master plan to improve the slum. Some town they use different cities or different to compare for their and also to become better and better. Example here, like clean water, electricity, and also land dispute become better and better lah. Okay. Some innovation and policy recommendation. Actually, we have three here. Example, leveraging data for the efficiency, integrating community and feedback, and also encourage cross-sector collaboration. This is the innovation and policy recommendation. All this also is very important for the city development and also for the community for innovation and policies itself. Okay. Okay, and if we do some strategies, some other strategies, example, invest in green, and we foster the inclusive of community, embrace the circular economy principle, and harness the technology, empower the participant, and go towards community outreach and also capacity building, and program some other in social media. All this is actually some other strategies that green and environmental that we develop. Okay, some other challenge, of course, when we have plan and we have some other challenge, example, wrong behavior. We we don't care about laws, about regulation. Okay, some behavior that become bad to the environment. Some people, if we have some waste, schedule waste or something, dump into the river, dump into the land, and that's the challenge also to become green and green, especially in the individual. Okay, and this is the last part of my slide. As individual, what should we do for to become sustainable cities and communities? Okay, example for the environment, we have certain example issue suspension of rule as water of pollution, chemical fertilizer. Sometimes like old days, agriculture sector, they use a lot of chemical fertilizer, okay, chemical fertilizer, which is good for their product yield to become more productive. But that fertilizer itself go to the water, go to the land, and if too much, then become pollution to the land and become water that we consume. Okay, then some country they put some rule that this one cannot use, this one is minimum, this one it must be certain limit, or that, and it become control of water quality, land quality, and pollution of uh, all this a bit from chemical fertilizer or agriculture. This is long term effect. It's not one once the example that one go to the water resources, water flow, then the water quality become bad. Okay, and some people they didn't treat well the water, then they are having those problem because of the chemical fertilizer. Clean Act got withdrawn. This is the deregulation example. Clean Act got withdrawn in January 25th, 2018, and now allow factory to release massive amount of arsenic, lead, and mercury to water. That's also bad. What happened to the what happened to the deregulation of productive law, and become remove this one, and Clean Air Act remove, and people can easily manage this properly. Okay, example, state are allowed to determine how much coal ash released to drinking water rather than federal government. And then of course sometimes they fight between state and federal government for the certain issue. Okay, lack of knowledge, I believe this is a very wide range of and common, very wide range of problem and common for everybody or every area. Many people have concern or have great concern for the green, for the environment, but actually only concern. But once come to the knowledge and implementation and also promotion for the sustainability, I believe this is very lacking for the for people. Okay, even we say, oh, we must green energy, green do greening, but still lack of knowledge become worse now. Yeah, people may think they are not effect or little change count for them, but actually, as I said before, the effect is actually we go to our next generation, and it's not direct to us. That's the part of the effect lah. What alarming to hear is now is actually blank, empty, and powerless. Okay, no more ways to bring attention to problem. Okay, example, if we want to have certain development or certain area, but currently we have human right, we have human NGOs and some other parties, and will stop us to use the new land or cut the tree without control or that. Still alarming, still a very bad problem happen because of the people need to transform, example, the forest, the to become the economic economic output, and okay, this is the example only. Okay, what we do, this is also day-to-day impact of the ones. Okay, example, we ourselves, I also young before, we ourselves, once we graduate and we buy a house, and consider that zero carbon or that, and if we take this as we put on energy, and house owner save zero carbon on this, what we whatever we do step by step of our home, our loan, our as example before, you want to drink 1 gallon of milk, actually we use 1,000 gallon of water, example. Or you want to eat one hamburger, 680 gallon of water used to produce supply chain, all those raw material, process people, 680 gallon of water used to produce only one hamburger, example. Okay, what should we leave? Okay, is actually, if we have uh, choice, okay, we are bound to choose the more sustainable cities to live. Sustainable means that we go there, transport is available, and affordable, house is affordable, and also have some green space or that. And where should we live? We have to choose the best for us and for our own. Then also, if possible, or if best, actually we go for zero carbon footprint lifestyle, or net zero. Okay, and maybe if we can, we say use less car, instead use sharing public transport, walking, biking, public transport, all that. And also, if we cannot even, then we have to go, for example, EV, electric vehicle, electric car, electric transport, because of the pollution is moved away from the city center to certain other, outskirt area or something, then reduce carbon footprint compared to gasoline driven in the town. Okay, in the town. But currently, most of the electricity still come from non-renewable energy, and is still not yet net zero. Okay. um, in the kitchen itself, this is a example, go vegetarian, or better yet, or something like vegetarian is good also, because as we know, example, many milk alternative use a lot of water to produce, and if we use less, then also good for water conservation, example. Then reduce some other things like paper product, buy food with less packaging, and natural packaging, buy local produce, is not too much transport, because of green supply chain, example. Green supply chain also important, that's why buy local produce. Okay. Okay, in our bathroom, okay, what should we do? We use reusable product, like some water conservation, and use less water. Let have, for example, appropriate shower. Don't too much or too long and become water waste or something. Use unbleached paper towel and toilet paper. Just this is actually also part of our do. And also, if possible, put your own green. Everybody have to have your own tree, even in the pot or in front of your house or something. Then that will be um, your own effort on yourself to have some small trees to cover um, your own body needs, example. Outside the house, okay, planting the trees, and also some other footprint offset is actually critical. Example, some country, they promote for the people to plant the tree along the highway, example, not the highway that with the fence and everything, but normal country road, example. You go to you stop certain area, and you plant the tree, one or two or three tree, then you go to somewhere, then same way also, then the tree become more and more, and that's our small effort for ourselves, what can do. Okay. And also, this is the example of green energy for the solar. Example, we have pro and con for the solar itself. If we use solar energy in our currently, many company that supply these things on our top roof house. If we use a good example of a few that I read for the current, is actually, if your house bill is about $200, then the saving is 90% or even 95%, and the return of investment or the return of your capital. We of course, when we install that, we have early capital. When we install that one, it's actually roughly about 5 to 6 years. Previously, last 3 4 years, the ROI, return of investment, actually up to 8 to 10 years, but now reducing. And I hope for the soon better future, maybe that ROI become only 2 years or even 1 year, then everybody will able to use solar energy on their own roof. That will be happen when research and also company doing research and become better and better solar energy absorption, and then become higher efficiency of that, then the cost lower and the energy become higher. Okay. Finally, for the conclusion, call to action, urgent need for us collectively to achieve the sustainable urbanization. Each and every one of us, not only government, not only the local government, but us itself. Okay, and also city is equitable, livable, and resilient space for all. Hopefully, by after SDG 2030 and what we are living in a better home, better house, better city, better, all of better. Okay, that's all for my sharing today. Hopefully, we have another 5 minutes to keep for basic Q&A. I'm not able to answer in detail many questions if you ask for India itself, because limited information on certain country. But in general, I can try my best to answer the question. Okay, thank you very much as of now, and back to you, Prof. Dina.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Noor. It was a pleasure having you and a very knowledgeable session. So participants would love to have your questions. If you want to unmute and ask your questions, or you would like to type in the chat, we have next 5 minutes for your questions. Let's go ahead, questions or comments. We're waiting for you to answer.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Rajesh.
Yes.
Thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Professor for their wonderful presentation and insights. So, sir, my concern is because community is the main pillar for any development, any sustainability concern. Here, my concern is how we can ensure the accountability, ownership, and make the responsible of the community for the sustainability of the cities. This is my question. Are you getting?
Yeah, Dr. Rajesh, is it, or Professor Rajesh?
No, I am not professor, sir. I am just a professional social development sector people.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the question. I believe the question is very relevant, and also very hard for me to answer. It's actually very good question. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
actually, for a community itself, is the most challenge for the SDG, especially on current SDG, is on sustainable cities and community, to be able to have a very high responsibility, and also together we work towards the green city, green transport, green affordable house, everything. Is actually, there are two ways. There are two ways to do it. One is actually basic one, which is we, as part of the agent, and also as our own, we have to always deliver the knowledge sharing, some other things that we do within our control for those community. That's actually what we can do. And that number one. And the number two is actually the bigger picture, and the bigger responsibility is actually goes to authority, which is they have rules, they have act, they have regulation, they have all those, and that will be higher, I can say, higher responsibility, higher impact, for for the community to follow. Example, the regulations say you have to do this, because you not do this, you will be fined, you will be jailed, you will be some other act, something like that, for the impact of what we do or what we not do. Example, that's the bigger higher lah. But that one, to achieve the number two, which is government, we also involved, which is actually we are people who select the government. That's all. Because if we select already, then the government or the authority do that, and that's what back to us. But anyway, what we are direct is actually is on number one, we as agent to green, to improve, to sustainable. Okay, okay, Miss Dr. Rajesh.
Yes, sir, thank you. Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you very much.
So, do we have more questions?
I think we have one here that I can read because he put a direct message here. Rural development, especially green development in village. Oops, I read the question first, maybe for this. Rural development, especially green development in village, has greater roles for SDG attainment that focus on cities. Technology shift should start from cities to village to reduce population crowd in the cities. Okay, I believe this is a question and so opinion from I cannot see the name. Just keep moving. From what he Dr. Vera, okay, Dr. Vera Miriala. Okay, actually what Dr. Vera say is very true. Actually, one of the important index actually is for us green sustainable cities, actually how we manipulate all those technologies and all those index and all of that, and people is actually like to move away from the city. One of the way is actually we move the industries, the source of income, the economy from the big city to certain area. Okay, one of the example that what Kuala Lumpur do, I think India also do it previously, but now Kuala Lumpur do before. The city center of Kuala Lumpur is already very cramped because of small area, but 4 million people sit there. But what the government do last 10, 15, 20 years, they move away the government itself from Kuala Lumpur to 40, 50 minutes away, 40 minutes roughly away, then become a new city in the jungle. Then Kuala Lumpur become city of business, but city of government is outside, then become more economic dispersed. Okay, that's the one of the way lah, because to move people is not easy, but we move what we can move. We move the technology, we move the economy, we move the factory outside. That one, of course, only government can do, not the people like us, not the small economy, but the government. Okay, thank you, Prof. Tina.
Yeah, I think there's one more question in the chat by I think Professor Uday Kumar. He says, "What about the effect of pollution due to solar energy?"
What is the again? I
What
cannot see the
about
question.
the effect of pollution due to solar energy?
Okay. Okay. Solar energy looks very beautiful, because people will say put on the roof, convert that phosphorus, boron, all that into a few layers, become electron, that become go to our switch, and we on. Then some of them covered roughly about 80-90%, or some people claim 95%. Okay. Anyway, okay, of course, we invest. Example, if a 10, I can say just means money, 500, $200 per month investment is about 30 divided by 5, maybe about $7,000. Okay, Of course, we invest and we get return of investment for the solar energy and reduce the consumption of that. But in order for the remove about the dollar and cents, in order to produce that solar panel, okay, in order to produce those chemical, boron, to move the electron, that to produce those things, still the factory, still the transportation, still the processes is using a lot of a lot of non-green energy, non-green energy to produce the solar panel, to produce all that, and to, so also use a lot of waters, water conservation, energy, other energy. That's not green. Okay, that's why I said the beauty of solar we can see is solar produce. We can see only a small picture of solar in the house, but if you go beyond that, we still use a lot of um, pollution to produce the things itself. Okay, I think the question is very true and very good to cover, because as of now, I believe most of us need to ask the ourselves, and also whatever discussion, put net zero in total supply chain. Eh? Uh, Not only that process itself. Otherwise, we can see EV car very good. Of course, in the town very good, but in the total, it's not net energy. That's one of the way.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Noor. There's one more question by Professor Manpreet Kaur. The question is, how can cities better prepare themselves for climate-related disasters, such as floods and heat waves and other such disasters?
Okay. The climate disaster or climate change, as I believe, when we are kids before, about 40 50 years last time, we live with a small water flow in the village. We live with the very nice green everything. But once now I go back hometown, all those are no more, far from green, far from all those. But this is actually part of the things, because of some people don't not agree, but I still need to say it. One of the main reasons is actually because of we use too much resources, energy, green, and to convenient ourselves, to convenient ourselves, and all the community lah. And that one effect to the um, climate change, to increase the example, to increase the weather, 1 or 2 degree, that will become all that. But in order to reduce or to maintain that, is actually as SDG said lah, we have to go for green energy, green transport, green all those. Otherwise, we keep doing as what we do, as what SDG say, um, far from achieve, and what SDG report say, all that. And also all many area is red color, you see, SDG report. And then we cannot run away from the climate change, the climate effect. And the next generation, next few generation, we still have very impact what we do now to them, after we maybe we die, from 50 years from now, 100 years from now. That's what we have to do lah. Okay.
Right. And according to you, what are the top two challenges that countries across the world may encounter in achieving the 2030 targets? Maybe top two challenges according to you.
Okay, I believe the challenge, the challenge of currently achieving those SDG or those sustainable things is actually, if we say two, is one is community itself. We, I and you and all of us, and also our I say for our family, all that, is actually how we want to make sure the lack of knowledge, lack of um, action towards green, all that is actually is very hard because of everybody of us, every part of us is actually always like shortcut. I believe me also, maybe some of us also, we always like shortcut, like easy, then that shortcut, that easy become problem or challenge to achieve those number one. Number two is actually beside our side, our community actually is go on technology lah. Okay. Beside community because of behavior and also people, this is technology itself lah. Technology is actually growing or maybe moving very fast. Okay, but um, in our today world, if we realize actually some of the technology because of changing very fast, they left behind a lot of uh, example, a lot of e-waste, a lot of um, um, uncontrollable waste, and all this technology moving plus the waste is actually affect a lot to our and become our challenge to to the SDGs because of example with take easy example, some country they use this specification of things. Some country they use then become uncommon, become problem, become not compatible, become all those become non-green, non-sustainable to the whole world. But that one is actually business. Anyway, the differences, the challenge is business for certain group of people, but threaten or challenge to the SDG itself. Okay.
Right. That brings us to the end of the session, Dr. Noor. I'm sure many of them have more questions, and maybe we'll share it with you so that you can answer these later. And
Okay.
yeah, because I'm sure it's very late for you. And thank you so much
Okay,
for
no problem.
joining us so late. And all of us learned so much, and we'll definitely keep in touch. I thank you on behalf of New Delhi Institute of Management, my co-coordinator, Dr. Sharif, for reaching out to you, and also the participants who participated, asked questions, and learned a lot from you. So we'll definitely look forward to more learnings. And it's a pleasure. Everyone, maybe have your cameras on for a picture with Dr. Noor, please.
Yes, ma'am, done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Have a good evening. Good evening,
Madam,
everyone.
Thank
See you
you,
tomorrow.
Martina.
Thank
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dr. Sharif.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Good evening.
Good
Thank you.
evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
Madam,
Yes.
madam, tomorrow how many sessions, madam? Tomorrow we are starting from afternoon, madam.
Yes, we are starting from 2 o'clock, and then till I think 5:30 we have the sessions, and then from 5:30 we move towards the conclusion where we talk about action planning, reflection, and then we have validatory session, and then the assessment. And details would be posted on the group by Dr. Sharif soon. And then all of you will meet again tomorrow, and look forward to
One more question, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question.
yeah.
Like, we'll be following the same time as per the FDP schedule for the assessment?
I think there would be a minor change, which just watch out for a message on the WhatsApp group.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.